Are you living a life that you love?
Thunder, you're getting ready to flow!
Or are you finding yourself just watching every day pass by as you respond to an endless barrage of emails?
I just love Monday mornings. Over 176 emails every single Monday. I love it.
Are you wasting your time serving on committees that you don't even care about?
The 2019 Board of the Silver Springs Community would now like to welcome as chairman of the HOA Pool Party Committee, Mr. Clay Clark. But first, we will start with the reading of the minutes from last week's meeting, and then we will do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will have some small cheese cubes, and then we will do speed networking. Sounds exciting.
Is your calendar overflowing with obligations and attending events that you don't even want to go to?
Oh, well, look here. Looks like I'm cordially invited to attend the honorable wedding of Amanda and little Mookie at the DFW next Tuesday night. Well, do I even know who they are? Am I even related to them? Maybe they sent it to the wrong address. Well, looks like they're serving chicken and B.O.B. What?
Are you living a reactive overall existence, or are you designing each and every day?
Honey, this is your mother. You never come over anymore. You're only over on Mondays and Thursdays and Sundays. What is it? Call me back. I called you 10 minutes ago. Craig, I can't find my pants. I need to rent your pants, bro. Call me back. Frick.
If you have decided that this is going to be your year to thrive and to become intentional about who you spend your time with and where you invest each and every moment of your life, then this show is the show for you.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. Today, I'm recording the show from the river walk, the path the path that leads you from our office to the golf facility located directly next to our Thrive Time Show World headquarters. The official time is what is it right now? It is 7:20 in the morning on Saturday. And I am looking out over the river, which looks beautiful in the morning today. And it is actually filled with water. The Arkansas River is filled with water. And today we're talking about, do you truly believe that success is a choice? We're asking the question, do you truly believe success is a choice? Well, congratulations, my friend. You are still alive. You're not dead. Blood is pumping through your veins and you are breathing. But are you truly living? Are you thriving? Are you celebrating each and every day and the very limited time you have on the planet? Or are you just merely surviving? Are you treading water, trying not to drown? Or are you living with purpose and passion? Or are you going through life just putting in your time until you die? Do you wake up every day with a fiery passion and excitement about what the day holds? Or do you wake up every day feeling overwhelmed by bills and an endless sea of obligations and to-do lists that you couldn't care less about? You know, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, once wrote, "If you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." Is your enthusiasm for what you do growing stronger day after day? Or is your spirit being dampened more as you log another 40 hours into a soul-sucking job you hate? If you were the captain of a big cruise ship, would you say that you're getting closer to your destination or further away, drifting at sea? Are your valued relationships growing stronger as you invest more and more quality time into quality people who you share goals and values with? Or are your relationships becoming more and more toxic as you hang around people and invest time in people who don't share your goals and values? Maybe it's family. Are you physically feeling supercharged, like you're getting closer and closer to optimal health? Or do you find yourself struggling to find the motivation to work out after a busy day doing things you don't care about? Are you living in your inbox? Are you spending your entire day, every day, just responding to emails? Is that all you're doing, is responding to emails? You wake up every day, just hundreds of emails coming in? Is that what your life has become, is responding to emails and burning fires from reactive employees that call in sick every day, people that just cannot figure out how to show up consistently? I've been there. If that's where you are, trust me, I have been there. Are you working in a business that you love? Have you built a business that you love? Are you working in a business that you love, or do you hate it? Do you resent it? Do you wish that you could just own the business and not just own a job? Or do you find yourself owning a business and owning your schedule, or are you a slave to your business? Is the business a slave to you, or are you a slave to your business? Are you living in a self-employment hell? Do you feel like your employees are holding you hostage? Do you feel like each day is getting you one step closer to the achievement of your goals, or are you drifting further and further away? Are your goals getting dangerously close to becoming completely out of view? Napoleon Hill, the best-selling self-help author of Think and Grow Rich, once wrote, "Cherish your visions and your dreams as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements." For a moment, allow your mind to drift with me, to kind of go to a place, allow your mind to dream with me, let's kind of drift out of our current reality. Let's dream just for a second. If you were truly thriving, what would that day look like? If today was going to be a great day, what would today look like? Forget your current situation for a second and let your mind dream up your own personal utopia for a second. In fact, to make this easier, I'll dream with you. I'll share with you what my day looks like today, and then maybe this would help you think about what you want your day to be like today. So this morning, I set my alarm. Yep, I set my alarm for 3 a.m. What? Why? I love 3 a.m. It's dark. Nobody else is up yet. It's quiet. I can think. What time did you go to bed? I went to bed. I did go to bed. I went to bed. Check this out. I went to bed at 9 o'clock. You went to bed at 9 o'clock? Yeah, I go to bed at 9 o'clock p.m. and I wake up at 3. Oh, I love that. So I get to sleep a good, 6 hours. So I wake up at 3. Well, what do you do when you wake up at 3? What are you doing? Well, I immediately drive to work. So I got to work. I get to work. I'm at work. I'm at an office located at the Riverwalk, 1100 Riverwalk Terrace. You should Google it, look it up. There it is in Jinx, Oklahoma. So I get up and I do my meta time. I'm designing my day. And so I wrote down the things I need to get done today. You might say, well, what kind of things do you need to get done today? Well, I don't have my calendar in front of me because I took time. I left the office, but I'm going to tell you what's in the calendar. I just don't have the actual calendar in front of me. 5 o'clock, I called Mr. Randy Atrican. He is a unbelievably great guy. He is a guy who owns a remodeling, kind of an outdoor staycation business there. And great business. And if you're out there looking to turn your backyard into a staycation, you want to check out his business. And it's PMH OKC is his company, PMH OKC. This guy's been a client for a while, I think 4 months now. And we've helped him totally revolutionize the way he hires people. He now is hiring great people. He's not being held hostage by his employees. And he's rising up the Google ranks. He's getting more business than he's ever gotten before. He's on the verge of, check this out, growing by 40% in just 4 months. Bam! That is exciting for me. So then the next call at 6, I talked to Dr. Timothy Johnson, who's a great guy. He's an ophthalmologist, and he's decided to team up with somebody he met at a conference by the name of Justin Wren. And Justin Wren has a cause called Fight for the Forgotten. Now, Fight for the Forgotten is a organization where they actually donate, where they actually drill fresh, they drill wells for the pygmy people. So these people who are living in like the jungles, they're drilling wells to provide them fresh drinking water. It's called Fight for the Forgotten is the cause. And Justin is an MMA prize fighter, and he has decided to donate a portion of his fees or his earnings when he fights to help support these people. It's a really cool story. I heard about Justin Wren for the first time while watching the Joe Rogan podcast. So I did the unthinkable. What? Yeah, I've heard the Joe Rogan podcast, and so I did the unthinkable. What did you do? I woke up at 3 a.m, and I thought about my day, and I said, Day, what do I want to do today? What do I want to do, Clay? What do I need to do today? And I wrote down, I need to invite Justin Wren to be on the podcast. See, I was intentional, and I did. I invited him onto the podcast. He said yes. He came. He ended up coming to the conference to speak. He there met another great guy by the name of Timothy Johnson, the ophthalmologist based in Tuscaloosa. Those two connected, and Timothy Johnson decided to help him drill wells. It cost $4,200 to drill a well, a life-giving well. People are dying over there due to not having fresh drinking water. And Timothy Johnson felt moved and compelled, and he donated to drill some wells for the pygmy people. The pygmy people, these are people with like stunted growth in the modern world because they don't have access to fresh drinking water. It looks like they're drinking out of like a pond. It's crazy how dirty their water is before these wells. So I worked with Timothy Johnson at 6 o'clock in the morning, helping him to grow his business. He sent me a text yesterday, by the way, that said, hey, I just raised $2,000 extra for the pygmy people. He sent me that text. That's so cool. Isn't that cool that I have a client that I'm helping him to grow his business. I'm helping a client grow his business, and then he's donating some of his profits to help provide fresh drinking water for people all the way around the world in a third world country. So again, at 5 o'clock, I met Mr. Randy. Then at the PMH OKC, that's his company. Then a big shout out to Randy. Then at 6, I met with Timothy Johnson, the ophthalmologist based in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Helped him with his business. And then he is donating some of the profits to help out Justin Wren. And then at 7, which is just a few moments ago, I got on the phone call with our good friends at Papa Gallo's. It's Dave, Trisha, and Nick. Great people. Dave, Trisha, and Nick. Great people. Diligent people. They've been running that restaurant for 20 plus years. Papa Gallo's. It's a pizzeria. Google search those guys. If you live in Florida, go see them. Patronize their business. Buy something from them. Buy something from Papa Gallo's. Great people. And they have had tremendous growth. They're no longer reactive. They're not being held hostage by their employees. They've grown their business. I believe that they're up over 30% this year. Guys, listen, success is possible. And this is what I do. I help people grow. It is awesome. 5 o'clock, I met with Randy. 6 o'clock, I met with Timothy Johnson, ophthalmologist. 7 o'clock, met with Dave and Trisha. Now at 8, in just a few minutes here, in 23 minutes, I'll be meeting with a new client. He's an architect, and I might like him, and I might not. And if I don't like him, I'm not going to work with him. What? Yeah. See, I'm not a slave to my clients, and they're not a slave to me. I'm really, really good at what I do. Some have said I am the best small business coach that there is. I would say I'm very, very good. In the if you were to rank, like the rappers, the best rappers of all time, I think you put Eminem up there as number 1 or 2. Jay-Z is 1 or 2. You put Tupac in there. You put Notorious B.I.G. in the top 3 or 4. And then there's kind of a debatable list of other great people. And there's always people jockeying for that position. In the world of business coaching, Bill Campbell was the best business coach of all time. That was the guy who, kind of the father of the industry, in my opinion. He coached Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. He coached Susan, one of the heads of their Facebook. He coached the heads of YouTube. He coached Jeff Bezos with Amazon. He coached Larry and Sergey with Google, Eric Schmidt with Google. I mean, look up the guy. Look him up, Bill Campbell. He's one of the best coaches of all time. He is the best coach of all time. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time business coach. He's great. And then the second best coach, in my opinion, is Chet Holmes. And Chet Holmes, he wrote the book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. Chet Holmes, red cover, great book. Buy that book. Chet Holmes, The Ultimate Sales Machine. So you've got Bill Campbell, you've got Chet Holmes, and then I think based upon the success of my clients, it'd be me. But maybe you'd disagree, and that's okay. But I'm meeting with an architect who, in our city, in our town, in our community, he is known as the top architect for what he does. He does home construction, a lot of big commercial projects. He's known as one of the best. And so the whole world is chasing after him. They want his business. And we're going to help him gain the time freedom and financial freedom that he's been seeking. He's got the financial freedom. Now we're just trying to get that time freedom back, the time to enjoy life. Because life is such a short thing, is it not? I mean, I think time is our most important asset, right? Because you can always make more time. No, you can't. You can always make more money, right? You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. Time. It's now 7:40 in the morning. My next meeting is at 8, and I'm meeting with an architect. Now, after I meet with the architect, check this out. This is Saturday morning. You work on Saturdays. I love what I do. Work is worship to me. It's awesome. You're a terrible person. What about family? No. Before the Bernie Sanders fans attack me about what is your life balance? Get out of here with life balance. I'm talking about trade-ups. What are you willing to trade off, trade up? I'm willing to trade certain things for certain things. So I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to go with my son. Aubrey, today. And he's going to DJ a wedding. His first wedding. He's going to DJ a wedding today. He's a 12-year-old kid DJing his first wedding. Yesterday, we were practicing announcements. We were driving over to Atwood's to buy various things. I had to buy a big trash can, a big metal trash can to finish out the man cave. Some more accoutrements from Hobby Lobby. I had to buy colored pencils and such. And we were role-playing. And I'm going to let you hear those announcements in a minute. We've been role-playing, practicing announcements because he DJs his first wedding reception today. DJ Aubrey 3000, by the way, if you look him up online. DJ Aubrey 3000. He's 12, and he wants to become a great DJ. And so I'm going to drive him over to the Botanical Gardens to DJ for Alexis and Jason Beasley's wedding reception. Wedding number 1. So I'm doing that at 3. Well, Clay, if it's 9 when you're done with your client, what are you going to do between 9 and 3? Well, I'm going to go back over to the Man Cave Studios with Jonathan Kelly and Devin on a Saturday. Yes, on a Saturday. What? Yeah, you see, in the book Exodus and in the book Genesis, it instructs us that we are to work 6 days and rest on the 7th. Is Bernie Sanders in Genesis or Exodus? Is he in that book? I don't know. And I've never met someone should look that up. I've interviewed billionaires and millionaires. I've never met any billionaire and or millionaire who works 5 days a week. I've never seen it. Never seen it. So I'm not attempting to be the first one who works 40 hours a week to become super successful. So on a Saturday, we're going over to the studio. We're going to set it up, test it last time, make sure the studio's working well. I have all the accoutrements that I purchased yesterday from Atwood's and Hobby Lobby with my son, and we're going to go over there, and we're going to finish that. We're going to test it, mic check it, boom. Then, after the studio is tested at noon, my wife and I are going to go into a vehicle together, driving over there in her Suburban that has, 150,000 miles on it. What? You drive a Suburban with 150,000 miles on it? Why aren't you driving like a Lexus or a Mercedes or a... Well, I could buy a car that I don't need to impress people that I don't know, or I could get what I need to get from A to B. It's a nice Suburban. It has a few dents because we have a few kids. We have 5 kids, so I think you get 1 dent per kid. We've had little fender benders, and it's a reliable vehicle. But don't you deserve, Clay? Don't you deserve a Lexus? Why don't you buy a BMW SUV? I could, and I've met a lot of people that have them, and if you have one, I'm excited for you. But I've met a lot of people, probably not you, but a lot of people that are driving big cars who have small amounts of time freedom. They have all these obligations. They have to work all these hours just to make the payment on the car that they're driving, the car they can barely afford to impress people they don't know. That will not be me. No, I will drive my Suburban with my wife over to the land. What land? The land. What land? Tell us about the land. I'm in the process of trying to build a campus where we can infinitely expand the conferences. I want to keep the conferences small and intimate, but I want to be able to do more of them without the restrictions of, various neighbors in a commercial setting. I want to be surrounded by trees. I want it to be Camp Clark and Chicken Palace, where you can come and after a conference, after you have a great time at a conference, maybe it's like a Friday, the conference is wrapping up, it's a fall Friday, if the weather feels crisp, you can go out there with people you've just met. But all of you are business owners. Everybody who comes to our workshops, they are business owners. They are bona fide, they are vetted. Occasionally we have some startup people come, but we vet those people to make sure that they're not psychologically impaired, because the kind of person that wants to work 40 hours a week while starting a business is psychologically impaired. The kind of person unwilling to work 6 days a week and who wants 6 days a week success is psychologically impaired. It says in the Bible, Proverbs 10:4, God blesses the hands of the diligent and punishes the slackard. And if somebody is a slackard but they want to be blessed, they cannot come to our conference. So you will be surrounded, when you come to our conference, you're going to be surrounded by Charles Kolaw and Amber Kolaw, the guys who own Kolaw Fitness. Google those guys. Great clients of mine. They've been in business for over 20 years. I've helped them grow that business dramatically. Kolaw Fitness. I teach them the systems, but they diligently apply those systems. You're going to be, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar company here. They are growing dramatically. Check them out, Kolaw Fitness. You're going to be seated. You'll be seated next to Shaw Homes. ShawHomes.com. Check them out, ShawHomes.com. Aaron Antis, the largest home builder in Oklahoma. You're going to be surrounded by the folks at Shaw Homes. You're going to be there. The person next to you is going to own one of the largest gyms in Missouri. The person next to you is going to own one of the largest gyms in Missouri. The person next to you is going to own the largest home building company in Oklahoma. Things could be worse. You can pick their brain, you can talk to them. And now at the new campus, we're going to go out and have some s'mores together. We're going to, the person with the most sales, we might just have a hot air balloon where you can signify the fact that you're lifting off and taking off, getting that hot air balloon and disappear. We're going to have a pond out there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. That's what we're working on. So I have to put in the work on the 6th day with my wife. And the thing about work that's great is that in the Hebrew language, the Bible was written in Hebrew. The Old Testament was written in the language of Hebrew. The word work means worship. What? Yeah, the word work and worship are the same word. That's what it means in the Hebrew language, work and worship. The word vocation means calling. I feel called to do this. When you are doing work and diligently putting your hand to the plow, you will have this feeling called satisfaction that you get as a result of putting in the work. What? Yes, you get this feeling called satisfaction after you put in the work. Now, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the feeling of satisfaction. Why? Because you didn't deserve it. The world teaches us to strive for vacation, which means to retreat from. The kind of people that come to our conferences are people that are looking for their vocation, their calling. They're people who are wanting to work as unto the Lord, to put their hand to the plow and to achieve super levels of success. So they can create a schedule that allows them to do whatever they want to do. Guys like Timothy Johnson want to give back to help folks like Justin Wren. Guys like Shaw Homes who want to grow their business so they can give away tremendous money to help causes that they care about. An unbelievable company. Folks like Kolaw Fitness. Do you understand that my schedule is filled only with interacting with super successful people? Or we had a startup the other day. Great guy, startup guy. He's wanting to start a landscaping service that's going to, he has visions of being self-employed and growing his business. And that's cool. And he currently works at a convenience store, and I can relate to that. I used to work at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV all at the same time. I get it. And he needs a little hand up. Not a handout. No, not a handout. We're not going to just give him free stuff, which is why we have a scholarship program for folks who are knocking on the door of the website going, I would love coaching, but I just can't afford the full freight, the full price. And you know why we only work with 160 clients one-on-one? Do you know why we only work with 160 clients one-on-one? Because that's the way I want to do it. Because I want to know you if you're a client. I want to shake your hand. I want you to know that you matter to me And I want to know that I matter to you. I want to have a win-win relationship. I want to have a relation shift, a shift from a transactional relationship. Oh, I pay you to update my website, and I pay you to do, the graphic design, and I pay you to do the print piece, but I don't like you or care about you. I'm not into that. If I'm looking for a transaction, I'm going to go on Amazon, hit click, they ship me my crap. I don't know the people who work there. They don't know me. But I want to have a relationship. With our coaching clients, there's a lot of crazy stuff you guys are dealing with. You got crazy employees who won't show up on time. You got family that's working for you who's dysfunctional. You've got dysfunctional family. And you need to fire your own freaking brother. I talked to a guy yesterday about that. He's got to fire his own brother. You've got your cousin embezzling money from you. There are things that, as a self-employed person, that you very few people can empathize with what it's like to wake up every day at 3 a.m. But I can. I designed my day. So after we go look at the property and meet with the architects about building the new buildings and such, I'm then going to, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go take my son to DJ a show. What? Yes. Clay, are you saying that you actually liked your day? Yes, I love my day. Why? Because I designed my day. It would be weird if I designed my day and then didn't like my day. So I will end by asking you this question. Who is designing your day? Who? Are you allowing people to design your day by clogging your day, filling your day with emails? I want to design a life where I wake up in the morning and I sit in a chair and I respond to emails all day. Is that what you're doing? Are you allowing your day to be designed by people who email you? Are you allowing your day to be designed by obligations? I serve on the board of this and the board of that and the board of the Who Gives a Crap committee. Oh, I've done that. I have found myself serving on an HOA board. I have found myself serving on chamber things and bridal association things, but never again. I will never, ever, ever fill my day with obligations and stupid conversations and emails that make my head explode. I will not do it again. No. I will never go back to that. And I would encourage you not to do that too. I would encourage you to look at your schedule today. Let's start with today, and then let's look at your week. Look at your schedule today. Do you like what's on your schedule? I like what's on my schedule. 7:52, I'm here with you, walking back to the building here. Walking back to the building to go back and meet my client at 8 o'clock, who's an architect who seeks to gain time freedom. He has the financial freedom. He's trying to gain that time freedom back. But let's look at your day. Are you happy with what's in your schedule today? If not, maybe you can't change everything today, but you can change 10% of it. Let's design a schedule. Do you even have a schedule? Do you actually have a schedule for every day? I do, which is why I love my day. I love today. It's a Saturday. It's a great day. It's a work day. It's a Saturday. Now Sunday, that's my Sabbath day, so there won't be any work conducted on Sunday. I'll be hanging out with family and enjoying time with them and going to Atwood's, Guitar Center probably. Can't go to Hobby Lobby, that's closed. Can't go to Chick-fil-A, but we can definitely get into some Guitar Center. We can get into some Atwood's. And my daughter just turned 15, and so we're going to have a little blasty blast family party with her and for her. But what I'm doing right now is I'm walking back to my office at 7:53, getting ready for my 8 o'clock appointment. And I'm asking you, what are you doing today? What's in your calendar? Because if you, to paraphrase John Maxwell said that you can predict somebody's success by what's in their calendar. You can predict somebody's level of success by looking into their calendar. You know, if you showed John Maxwell your calendar, he could predict your future success or lack thereof just by looking into your calendar. Lee Cockrell, the former executive vice president of Walt Disney World Resorts, once said, "What gets scheduled gets done. What gets scheduled gets done." And I scheduled this podcast here with you, which is why it's getting done. And now at 7:54, I'm going to be walking inside the office to meet our architect client for our first face-to-face meeting. We had our initial consultation over the phone, and I will welcome him into the Thrive community, and we're going to help this guy grow his business.
All right, so Devin, last night, my son DJ Jason Beasley's wedding reception.
Oh, man.
Thus, I went to bed at the latest I've ever been to bed in years. You see, as a wedding DJ, I always got back from my shows after, midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And Jason, he's a wild man. Jason Beasley and his wife, Alexis, they wanted to party.
Whoa.
So they were there till about 10.
Wow.
I know. And so then I took down the gear, and Andrew and his wife, Manna, helped us. And I got home last night around midnight. And then this morning we had to get together to record and edit and do what we have to do.
Right.
At 5.
Right.
And not only do I look bad, but I feel bad. But I'm here with the listeners because I said that I would be here. And we are recording now from the studio, which we are intentionally designing and updating. It's very intentional. The Man Cave studio that was demolished by the flood. And this is the first show we've recorded back in the new studio. And can you please explain what kind of decor you're seeing go up all around you?
We got books everywhere and all sorts of accoutrements. We got elephants and we have dragons. We have just everything that you wouldn't expect to see here.
What kind of people are on the walls?
We have successful people. We have some Seth Godin, some Richard Branson.
Yep. We have Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Jobs is right behind you.
Oh, I can't see him.
We have the letter Z everywhere. We have the books on the wall, the books on the shelf of the people we've interviewed.
Right.
Just hundreds of people we've interviewed with a little green sticker on the books to represent the people we've interviewed.
Right.
We've got Edison bulbs in here to celebrate the life and times of Thomas Edison.
Keeps us warm.
But it's intentional.
Right.
It's intentional. And I just feel like a lot of people are not intentional with their decor. They're not intentional with their schedule. And they're not intentional. And in order for my son to DJ last night, you know what I had to do to get him ready to DJ?
What'd you have to do?
We had to role play those announcements over and over in the car.
Oh, man.
To get him to a level of satisfaction. Therefore, the people at the wedding will have a good time. We had to make sure that his level of preparation met his level of excitement to be a DJ.
Right.
He had a passion to DJ, but we had to make sure that he has a passion to practice. And the kid has spent literally thousands of hours practicing DJing upstairs every Sunday night when we have family over. He practices. But we had to practice those announcements. And do you know why we had to practice the announcing of Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley?
Because you don't want to screw it up.
Right. You have to introduce the couple for the first time, or maybe it's the second time at that point, but you have to introduce them at the wedding reception. And as a DJ, you don't want to drop the ball.
No.
And so I have audio, sneaky audio, of me role-playing with my son, getting him ready to, intentionally getting him ready to become a wedding DJ at the young age of 12. This audio was recorded while I was driving my Hummer 38 miles per hour en route to Atwoods to buy nothing in particular, but to buy it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
Now you want to end with a crescendo. Like the peak. You want to crescendo up. You want to move up. You want to end with a high note, a high point, right?
Okay.
So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
please stand.
It is my pleasure
To introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
Better, but let me try one time, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. By the way, eat the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley! Ah! Woo! Yeah!
He said Mr. and Mrs. Jason Business.
I said Beasley.
He said business. He didn't finish the Beasley. You just Beasley. He didn't finish it yet.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you, for the very first time. Well, did I say that or not?
No, you don't need to say that. You want to add things, but you don't need to. Because they just said it for the first time at the ceremony.
Yeah.
You want to get all clever. Don't get all fancy. Don't get all bougie.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
That's good. That's better. That's better. But you gotta just Jason Beasley. I said Beasley.
Okay.
Bring some sizzle, man. Do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
That was better, but you tailed off at the end. You suffered from weakness. You had it. It was great. And at the end, you're like Beasley. Do it again. More sizzle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
That's better, but just bring it like this. Ah!
I'm not gonna do what you do. You screaming.
Listen, you have to bring the sizzle. One time, go for it. If you don't go for one time, we're doing this all night. Role playing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
That's good. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That was good. And you got to do it to great people do things till they can't get it. What?
Wrong.
Right. Weak people do it till they get it right.
Yeah.
You got to do it till you can't get it
Wrong.
right. You do it till you can't get it.
Wrong.
You got to do it till you can't get it. What?
Wrong.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
Oh, that was good. That's 2 in a row. If you get 3 in a row, you might actually be good. Now the problem is people want you to be great, or they don't want to pay you.
That's probably true.
What do you mean probably true? You want to pay for like a B- burrito?
Yeah, well.
Well, because it's me. All of a sudden, I'm not affected by standard because it's me.
I don't care. A burrito's a burrito to me.
Get off the burrito example. Move on. All right, do it again. Do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please stand. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jason Beasley.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Makes me scream.
I'm afraid
inside. It was so good.
I'm afraid that while I'm announcing, I'm gonna have a voice crack. It's gonna be annoying.
Voice crack?
Yeah, that would be terrible. I haven't randomly.
Well, it's better than worrying about, showing crack during the announcement. You're like a plumber or something. You worry about, showing the crack. Okay.
Wait. It's like the drug or your actual butt crack?
I'll let you think about what you want.
Probably both.
I'll let you think about what you need to think about right there. How was school today?
So Devin, he DJ'd last night. He had a great time, and the moral of the story and the action steps that can be extrapolated from today's show are as follows. 1, be intentional about the life that you live. Devin, because you're a very intentional person now, can you explain with the listeners what time you get to work every day?
I get to work typically between 5 and 5:30.
And you've had your eye on the prize for a long time of wanting to become a country club member.
Right.
Why?
Few different reasons. One of them, it's something that my family can get into as a family. So all of us can play golf together for as long as we can.
But you've been intentional about you've been working towards that prize. When did you have that goal for the first time?
I would say probably about 3 years ago.
3 years ago, you had that goal. You've stayed intentional about getting the raises or the improving your skills needed to make extra money working with me to get to that goal. You now block out time to actually go golf.
Right.
But if you weren't intentional about scheduling time to golf or scheduling the time in your schedule to wake up, what would happen by default?
I would not be able to do that. I wouldn't have the time to, and I would drift.
But you now have a to-do list every day. You wake up every day, you make a to-do list.
Right.
Every day you have a calendar where you schedule what matters. Can you explain maybe a few things that you do differently now on a daily basis since working with me that maybe other people wouldn't do by default? So I'm trying to make this very actionable, whether it's you're intentional. If you're listening right now and you want to teach your son how to become a good DJ before the age of 13, you can do it, but it requires time. If you want to become a country club yuppie like Devin, you can do it. If you want to record a radio podcast show from your home, you can do it, but you have to be intentional. Can you explain, Devin, maybe some of the things you've learned to do that have allowed you to become a more intentional person over the last few years as you've worked with me?
Definitely. I would say one of the biggest game changers for me has been the to-do list and the calendar.
Come on now.
So having a intentional to-do list that I get up and I'm able to plan every morning exactly what I need to get done for that day. And some days there's more on my plate that I have to get done than others, but then taking that to-do list, those action items that I have to get done for the day, and then actually blocking the time out to get them done in the calendar. That has been a game changer for me.
Lee Cockrell, the former executive vice president of Walt Disney World Resorts, who actually managed over 40,000 employees at the same time and 1 million customers per week. He has written, he said, what gets scheduled gets done. What gets scheduled gets done. So I would ask you, if you're out there listening today, are you getting up every day? Are you getting, this is the rhythm of entrepreneurship. This is the rhythm of being intentional. Are you waking up every day and planning out your day? Are you blocking out that half hour to an hour every morning? Are you blocking out that meta time, that planning time, that prayer time, that thought time? Are you blocking out that 1 hour a day each morning to block out your schedule, to plan out your day? Are you doing that? 2, are you actually printing out your to-do list for the day? And 3, are you actually printing out your calendar? If you don't do it, I'm just telling you, you're going to get overwhelmed by push notifications, you're going to forget something, and you're going to drift. My name's Clay Clark. That is Devin, the super coder / new member of the Golf Club of Oklahoma, one of the newest yuppies to enter the Tulsa community. And now, without any further ado, we'd like to end each and every show with a boom. And from the new studio, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.